Hey everybody, it's Mike Frieder here with On-Call Compliance Solutions, and I'm back with another compliance tip of the week. Today we're talking about NIST SP 800-171 Control 3.5.5, one of my favorite numbers, 355. If you want to know why, you have to call me. Prevent reuse of identifiers for a defined period of time. The first thing really when you read this is like yet another control where they probably could have used a much simpler word than identifier. Because I don't know about you, but I don't know, 20-year career in IT, cybersecurity, an identifier is a word that actually, well, I couldn't figure out what it was either. But again, the great news is that, we don't really take no for an answer, so we just called the government until they told us what it was. True story, actually, true story. So look, if I was going to answer what an identifier was, the easiest way I can really explain it to you is think of an identifier as something that identifies you. And the easiest thing to use as an example of an identifier might be your Windows login and password, or maybe not the password, but just the login itself, right? Your username. Your username is the most common kind of identifier. Your username identifies you, what you're doing on the computer systems. It might be, you and your identifier. You might have an identifier badge if you're physically swiping in. Whatever your identifier is, a lot of times it's your username, or maybe in a database it'd be like the index field. But again, not to get really super deep into it, the easiest way to deal with that is consider using like a username in place of the word identifier. Then it makes a lot more sense. So, why do you want to prevent the reuse of an identifier? Great question, and there's a good response for that. If you've got, let's just like play a little game, right? If you got a scenario with a guy named Bob Smith, let's say Bob Smith is our Chief Financial Officer, and Bob Smith has been trained in handling CUI properly, insider threat, all the good stuff. And Bob Smith leaves the company. All right, Bob Smith has a graceful parting of ways with us. And a new receptionist starts up, and her name is Betty Smith, right? And Betty Smith is not part of the department that handles defense contracts. She is just a lowly person at the front desk answering the phones. Not that there's anything wrong, because those are the most important people at my company. I can tell you that for sure. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Betsy Smith comes in. She's B. Smith. Bob, he's B. Smith. We got a bunch of B. Smiths, but one person sure shouldn't have access to the same B. Smith stuff that we started out with. So when Betty comes in and they just reactivate that account, not thinking, all of a sudden Betty's got access to all the accounting data and everybody's vacation history and all the file shares that contain the controlled unclassified information. And that's not good. Not only is it not good, it's kind of against the rules and creates a big giant violation. So why do we prevent the reuse of identifiers? Is to make sure people don't get access to the stuff they shouldn't have. So what do we do with that? Well, again, how your company handles that, totally up to you. If I was answering, I'd say implemented the IT policy dictates that identifiers are disabled for a period of 1 year post-termination of the account being needed before the account is deleted, and then the identifier is allowed to be reused after verifying that all file system permissions have been removed involving that identifier. So again, if I was to give an answer, that's how we would do it. Does it mean you can never use the B. Smith username again? No, not really, but you certainly have to have a policy on how to make sure that the real thing that they're looking for as an assessor with this control doesn't wind up accidentally being executed. So again, it just makes sure that the wrong person doesn't get a hold of the wrong stuff because of a simple naming convention mistake. And hey, if you're looking for more carrots at the end of a stick, join us again as we teach you how to get compliant with DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, or CMMC on your own. And if you're looking for help, our compliance experts are always on call for you. Visit NIST800-171compliance.com or check out the bio below for links to make life easy. There you can find more information about how we can help. Self-schedule time at your convenience with one of our compliance experts through any form on the website, or learn more about our completely done-for-you services that can have you on your way to being compliant in just 2 to 3 days. And hey, if you love the content we're putting out here for you, help us out with a big thumbs up on that like button. Or even better, smash that subscribe button to get the latest compliance content as soon as our compliance nerds roll it out. It's a great way to stay prepared for that upcoming CMMC certification everybody's going to have to go through eventually. And hey, until the next time, my friends, stay safe and secure out there, and hit us in the comments below to let us know what you'd like to know more about when it comes to information security and compliance. I'll see you on the next one.